Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. I see Lori and Taylor, and there's Farah. Wonderful. And Jan. And Barb is with us. So, welcome everybody to December's first Tuesday group coaching call. I'm Sharon Burch, and I'm always happy to see who turns up to these. And I know we're and I'll keep be letting people in here for a while. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and get started with the way we do these calls. If you haven't been on one before, is we whoever's here, you're welcome to ask questions about your business, any part of your business. Also, you're welcome to just share a challenge you have. I will be happy to help you with questions and challenges, and so will Jan Walter. She's here representing, Jan's one of our coaches in the Liberated Nurse Business Incubator program. And so questions, challenges, and also celebrations. We like to celebrate those as a group and a community too. This is being recorded. It'll be on YouTube in a day or two. And if you want to be anonymous for any reason, you can be off camera. You can blank out your name. That's totally up to you. You can also have your camera on or off, depending on what you want. This is very informal. I'm not demanding at all about anything, really. And you can also speak or just listen if maybe you just don't know for sure what your question is, and you can listen to others and learn from what others are sharing. So I think that's all the explanation. And who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay,
I'll
Lori.
I'll, I'll share a celebration.
Great. Okay.
So I finally decided actually today to pull the trigger and do the incubator uh, program. So I'm super excited about that. I've got one. It'll be January. So I don't know if there's a certain date in there or not, but I've just been sitting on this hesitant. I've been on the fence. I've known I was going to do it, and then I actually had somebody coach me through it today, and I was just like, "You're right. I just need to just do it and step out of my comfort zone." So that was huge for me, and I don't know why I've had so much reservations. I know I've talked with Jan a couple times, and I don't know why I couldn't do it, but anyway, I'm doing it, and so I'm excited.
Woohoo. Good. Congratulations. It's
Thank
a
you.
big deal to get to a clear yes or a clear no and
Yes.
not be in the middle, kind of going back and forth. And
Yeah.
so I'm excited about your decision to join us. You can
Yeah.
totally join in January. That's fine. And we've got Taylor's in the incubator right now. Taylor, would you like to say anything about it to kind of encourage Lori or whatever you want to say?
Yeah, I am so excited for you. It literally made me so excited when you said that. I did, Sharon offered like the first course split up in September. So I started that and then bought the rest of it in October, I guess. And since then, I've like come so far with like I've never really been super clear on like my niche, and now I am. And I've never really said to anybody like what I wanted to do. I've like really been struggling with that. But ever since I joined the incubator and like went through um all the lessons and everything that's within that with each course, it really just made everything much clearer for me, and I'm so much more confident in it. And then now I've shared it with so many people, and it's just like everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's such a good idea," and they're like, "That's what you're supposed to do," because it's just like it's obvious in your face and everything. So I think I'm hopeful that you will have that same or a similar reaction and outcome as I have. But I don't think you will regret it at all because it's just awesome. And I literally look forward to every Thursday, like meeting because, and we didn't meet last week because of Thanksgiving. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this week. So it's just a very good supportive group that's, we're all from different stages, but it's nice to have that support. So welcome. I'm excited.
Thank you. I think you were in the class. I think I took that two course with you. I took
Oh,
one
yes.
with you. I think you look familiar. I think you were in that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you looked familiar as well. So
Yeah.
yes, I did do that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so interesting for me. In my career, I usually I'm not, I like to process things, but I also don't sit on things for a long time. And I'm pretty like I need to know without a doubt before. And so this has been, like I said, I've been on the fence for a long time, but anyway, it was just so good to have that, like you said, Sharon, that clear yes. So, yeah, I'm super excited, but thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wonderful. Who else has a question, a challenge, or a celebration?
I have a question. So for the nurse incubator or the incubator program, what exactly is that? What exactly do you offer in that? I saw some of the packages that'll be good until the end of December, thankfully. So if I do it, I'll have some more time to.
Oh, you muted yourself, Farah.
There we go. I don't know how
Thank
I
you.
did that. Um, but how does the incubator work once you get into it? And um, I know it kind of helps you with the business aspects and everything you need to do with having. I guess it's a nurse coaching business.
Mhm.
Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, it definitely will help nurse coaches, but it's not limited to nurse coaches. It's for any kind of nurse entrepreneurs. So it can be coaches, consultants, healers, innovators, of new products or new approaches. Um, will help any nurse to learn. What we do is we teach you the basics of business, and we teach it. We've translated business principles from mainstream conventional business into nursing language and nursing principles and paradigms. And they're quite different, actually, because, our nursing ethics are some of the best in the world. That's why we're the number one most trusted profession is our ethics. But on the other hand, conventional business ethics are not so highly regarded. In fact, the main thing is buyer beware when you're looking at making a purchase. So there's quite a bit of difference. And so we work with nurses from the very beginning. Like stage 0 is just looking at inside yourself and identifying, why do you want to have a business? What do you want to get from that? What are your strengths? What are your limits? Things like that. That's the first course, is looking at yourself, because you're the core part of your business, right? And it also includes things like how to work with your inner doubts and we call them inner saboteurs of different kinds. That can even include perfectionism and procrastination and, lots of things like that. So that's the first course. And then after that, after you complete that course, it goes on to 4 more courses that walk you through choosing a niche, talking to people to do market research, testing your business idea with real people that pay you, and then looking at like analyzing the evaluation results of your test. And then if you've had a strong result that you're confident in, then helping you learn how to multiply that and how to reach out with marketing and sales. So, but it's all using the nursing process and creating evidence, because that's one thing about us nurses, we practice with evidence, right? We don't just jump off a cliff or wing it or whatever. So that's our process. The sales page is liberatednurse.com/LNBI. That will tell you all the details about the incubator. And what it is, it's a combination of self-paced, home study education, business education. So you have videos and workbooks and templates and exercises, all that self-paced. And then to support you with understanding that and applying it to your business idea, we have weekly group coaching in small groups, no more than 10 students at a time. And you also get 3 private coaching sessions at specific times in your journey to help you craft your business plan that is specific to you. And we look at business plans like care plans, for your business. So it's going to take the business world and bring it into the nursing world and help you be successful. Oh, and one more thing is we have a guarantee like I've never seen before anyone else do. And that is that we will stick with you. You can stay in the system, in the incubator, and continue to get support until your business is making a steady $3,000 a month or more, or $3,000 a month. That's net income. So that's after your expenses that you're actually having in your wallet, $3,000 a month. And we chose that amount because by the time you figured out all the parts to produce that kind of income, then you can go without us, just expanding on what you've learned. But we want to make sure you have the solid foundation at the beginning. And I see that Teresa Walding has joined us. Teresa, hi, Teresa. She's also one of the coaches. So she and Jan are 2 of the coaches, and we have another coach in the program as well. So did I answer your questions? Okay. Well, bring up any more that you like at any time. So I guess I should just say one more thing. Most programs like that are 6 months or 9 months or a year, but this one is open-ended because I've found that so many nurses are also either juggling a job or kids at home or health problems of their own or health problems of somebody in their family. So that makes it for, we really wanted to allow everybody to have their own pace. And also once in a while we have someone that's just ready to go and they want to go fast, and that's fine too. So we'll go with you. If you want to run, we'll run with you. If you want to walk, we'll walk with you. Other questions, challenges, or celebrations?
I'll go.
Great, Sue.
So, so I met with Sharon over, I guess just a couple weeks ago, and we talked because I have a business and struggling with just running it the correct way and am I doing the right thing? So I haven't committed to the incubator program, but I did get the starter kit and the RN protecting your license. So I did get those 2 things. I don't know why I'm hesitant to pull the plug on the incubator. but I am. So I don't know why. Um, I don't know if it's my like, I feel like I need to do things systematically. I'm not sure. But anyway, I appreciated talking to you, Sharon, and I appreciate putting all this together for people like us that, we want to do our businesses. So I'm excited to do my first two starter kits, and then maybe by the end of the month I'll pull the plug on the incubator.
Okay, that's fine. I understand. It's not just like taking a course. It's
Mhm.
deciding you're really gonna take another step of commitment toward your business dreams. And I know you've already taken many steps in your business, and so is Lori. But still, there's something about being in a group, having friendly accountability, and being seen. And it is something to think about.
Yeah.
I would love to hear from Teresa and Jan if they'd like. I imagine you have a response to Sue.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that, like you're just not quite sure if you want to take that next step. And I suspect you're here because you're struggling with something in the business, right?
Right.
And it's often ourselves. It's us because we are our business.
Yep.
And what Sharon did for me was let me see those places where I was actually stopping myself. Like that internal dialogue that you have, the one thing that goes, hurry up and get ready, get ready, get ready. Okay, I'm ready. And then it's called the stopping cycle. We're planners. We like to plan. We like to, think we're doing something and we're putting all the pieces together. And then we get ready to, like you just said, pull the plug.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're like, oh, no, not yet. That's the stopping cycle. And that's an internal dialogue that you're having with yourself that is not helping you. And it's one of our saboteurs. It's one of those places where we're like, I've done so much. I've bought all the shiny objects. I've bought all the courses. I've done and done and done and done and done. And what Sharon's program did for me was put the solid foundation of like, now I can look and see where I kept tripping over like these one or two things that kept bringing me back down to the bottom again. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe I just didn't know how to do it. And I don't know. I don't know what it is about being, well, I do know what it is about being in a group of people who are excited about what they're doing, that have a purpose and really want to bring out this gift that we have as healers. And we keep stopping ourselves. And I think some of it is grounded in our training. We're not used to stepping up and saying, it's me, it's me. And it is you, and it is me. But we have to put on the shoes that fit that vision. So it's taking that next step. Put on a pair of shoes that are a little bit too big and grow into them. Put on the next pair of shoes and grow into those shoes, and stop stopping yourself. That's the one thing that is pretty much universal. So I don't know if that helps, but
Yeah, that's helpful. It's interesting to hear you say that because I feel like I'm stopping myself and I don't know why I'm stopping myself. I
I
mean,
have one
I
word:
don't, yeah.
fear. Fear. It's fear of success, fear of failure, fear of fear. It's that leaning into, when you have a really big purpose in life, it's a little bit scary, even if you really want it. And that's what this program is doing for lots of people. But I think for me personally, Sharon has just been kind of that little quiet guiding light that says, you've got this. You're okay. No, just keep taking the next step. Take a teeny tiny baby step if that's all you can take. You won't fall off the cliff if you do that. And then one day you take a great big step and you're completely supported and you're like, oh, what was I afraid of? And it's a million of those that actually move the needle forward in baby steps, big steps, whatever they look like.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
think Teresa did a fantastic job. I just wanted to add one thing is one of the reasons Sharon has the Thursday night meetings, the people who have joined and marketing groups and things like that is because I'm not sure about you because we don't know each other, but I have a tendency to circle in my own head and get, oh, this idea and think this is a great idea and then, oh, well, maybe it's not. And just going around and around in myself. And the groups, I know somebody maybe like Taylor could say, she's been in some too, that the group dynamic helps you get out of that cycle of just going around in a circle. And other people have ways of helping. Other people have thoughts that can be really just take you 10 steps farther than you would go on your own. So to me, that's one of the really great things. The classes are fantastic because you really have to think about how you're going to do things, but also the those particular meetings are inspirational, encouraging, and clarifying the things that you need in business. And so it's really, I haven't seen a downsize in 2 years. I've been here 2 years. Yeah. I haven't seen any downsize.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan and Teresa.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
that. And Sue, if you have other questions that come up over this month, feel free to send me an email. My
Okay,
email address is right there on the screen. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Mhm. Oh, I want to say one more thing about your question. I remember you said something about you want to go very systematically. And that is one thing that I believe the incubator lays out a very step-by-step systematic path. And of course, people can leave the path and do their own thing. But if you want system and you want step by step, that's one thing that we do well.
And the one thing I was totally missing, because that's not my style at all. So if you're the creative kind that kind of lives messy a little bit, that was very helpful to me. I think I even caught myself saying, I'm starting to enjoy systems and spreadsheets, which was totally new for me. Not that I didn't use them, but I did not love them. Can I share a visual real quick?
Yeah, I can give you that.
And you can take a screenshot. This visual was very helpful for me.
Okay, see if you can do it now.
So this is the cycle of quitting. The second guessing, the fear, the blame, projecting, overwhelm, blame, quitting, relief. And we're all looking for that relief. Somehow seeing it on there helps a little bit to sort of get to those inner saboteurs.
We can recognize ourselves doing several of those, I would imagine.
I look at it when I do get like, I don't know what to do next. And then I look at like, oh, I'm just looking for relief. So instead of quitting, I just take a nap. It seems to work. So anyway,
Yeah, thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah, Teresa, I'll piggyback on kind of what you were saying about the systems thing and how you're not really a systems person, but you needed that. That's kind of how I am. I've gathered, and since I'm still fairly new with the incubator, I love the systems about it, and I have followed them a little bit, but then I've also like kind of strayed off a little bit, but then it's good because I know that they're always there and that I can always return to them. And then I'm like, okay, Taylor, like you're getting way off in left field and you need to be back here. So then I just watch another video or rewatch a video, and then I'm like, okay, and it like straightens me back out. And I think I was trying to do that before I started the incubator, but I didn't have those tools that I needed to get me back and to like know that I have them. And so that was really helpful for me. And then like tomorrow I'll be going to meet with my surgeon to kind of like talk about my business idea. And I'm nervous about it, but I'm also like very calm about it at the same time. And I've noticed that like before the incubator, if I was going to do something like this, I could see myself going in there and just like talking about my recovery and that's it, and not even bringing it up. But like my self-saboteurs, I have noticed them slightly, but they are so much more muffled, and I can just be like, "Oh, shut up." Like, that's not the case. And I think it's just too like I feel like I have this accountability to everybody that's also in the inner circles on Thursdays in the incubator that it's like I have that accountability and I want to report back. And so it's like that's going to keep me pushing forward instead of stopping where I usually would. So, yeah.
Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, we're all excited to hear on Thursday night about how it goes tomorrow, right? We're rooting for you.
Yes, thank you. I am very excited about it, and I told my husband, I was like, I'm just gonna like prepare quietly in the other room or something before I go see him. And yeah, I mean I'm feeling very good about it. I really think that he'll be receptive to it, and I have nothing to lose because I'm only gonna go up from here. Like I'm either gonna stay exactly where I am or keep going. And I think that keep going is the only option here because there's no denying that I could be of help to people. So yeah, I'm excited.
One of my coaches told me when we get ready to go in to do something like that, to take 5 minutes in the car and think about the outcome that you want. Step into those shoes that you need to wear to be the person you need to be to have that conversation. So you make the internal shift and then you just go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a nice visual for me, especially, and you can even do it before any presentation or anything, but I don't know, it was just, I liked it. It was helpful.
Yeah, and I think the big thing too is I just keep reminding myself like I don't know what the outcome, like even in my own mind, even though I have these ideas, I still don't know what the outcome would look like and completely. And so it's like, yes, I want that, but like I'm not focusing only on that. More so just to get my idea out there and to just tell him because I think it's a great idea. And so it's like separating myself from the outcome of like, and I've separated myself from like this is the only way I can make money type thing. And I think since I've like separated the two, it's helped tremendously. So yeah.
Barb, would you like to share anything or ask anything?
No, I really didn't have anything that I wanted to ask today. I just thought I would listen. And
Okay,
sometimes there's a lot of good ideas that go around the group. So I just thought at least I'd come and do this and see what I can pick up.
that's great. What
Thank you, though.
totally welcome to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's nice because we're all nurses. And when you're learning to do a business or the things that I've reached out to learn how to do a business, it's all like business people who don't understand nursing. And I mean, I can be a nurse all day long, but then starting a business was a completely different ball game. And just trying to, piecemeal things together. I think that's why I get stuck on this. I want to do it in a systematic way because I feel like I've piecemealed things. And I don't want to miss anything or do things wrongly that will set me back. So I think this is, well, Taylor actually told me about this. So it's like I'm so excited to learn that there is a group like this. So so it is like Barb, when you said just hearing different ideas, it's nice to hear what are other people doing and how did one idea springboard into something else. And yeah, so
Yeah, it really is. In fact, Sue, that gives me an idea. How about if we hear from as many of you that want to share, where you live and what your business is, or what is your business idea, if you haven't started yet. And you can, of course, pass. You don't have to share anything. But it's an opportunity. And I think it's always fun to hear those things. And it can spark ideas for other people too and be inspirational.
Mhm.
So who would like, and I would include the two coaches here too, Jan and Teresa. So love to hear whoever would like to start out.
I'll go. So my background, so I've been a nurse for like 30 years, 33 years probably. Um, Nurse and then became a nurse practitioner. And along the way, got a degree as a doctor of naturopathy because holistic medicine, like that was just fast becoming my passion. And I knew someday I didn't want to run around an ER, right? And I wanted to help people more. So when I started this, I wanted to be more education. Like people would come in and they'd have all these list of medicines and not know what to do with them. And I just wanted to educate people and let them know that there is a different avenue for them, and that taking care of your health really doesn't have to be that complicated. Drink water, get sleep, eat right. So that's how I started to do all this. I have several different services. I got a room at a place called a wellness lounge, and basically it's a health food store. In the back of the store they have rooms, and there's 6 practitioners, or I guess 5 practitioners. Myself being one. We have an acupuncture, a chiropractor, massage person. So I started out, I have a salt booth. So I was starting to having like halo therapy and how that helps, and doing wellness consults. And now I'm doing biofeedback. So, but I feel with my education that I have so much more to offer, and I'm trying to put all these things together to really help people. So teach people that different holistic modalities can help keep you healthy so that you can, you know, we always can't prevent ourselves from getting sick, but if we do get sick and get something, we're going to bounce back better and we can stay on top of things. So that's my story.
Thank you, Sue. And where do you live?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I can go. Well, following Sue, though, that's amazing. You have a lot of great qualifications, and I'm just trying to do nurse coaching. I just got board certified, and August, and just trying to move forward and doing some holistic wellness. My other background besides nursing is in physical education, athletic training. So I like to work with people in preventative, holistic, integrative type of making improvements in their life. So yeah, I kind of like doing the same thing that you were talking about, but it's a very slow going. And I live in New York State, and there's so many in the country, not in the city, so I'm far away from the city. So there's not a whole lot of people that are that even know what a nurse health coach does, or think that they might need one. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at and trying to somehow get into that area, and wellness and that kind of stuff too. So that's it.
That's awesome, Barb. And I think it's daunting too, because it's like you said, there's so many people that need to be helped, but how do you get it out there? And do they even know like that they have options? Because I think we're so used to, oh, you go to the doctor, you get a prescription, in my experience, I don't think people realize that they have a choice. Like you can make good, healthy choices, and they just need a little bit of encouragement, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And something that Teresa said a couple Thursdays ago in one of our meetings was, I said I wasn't sure of like how to speak about nurse coaching. And she said, you don't necessarily have to label it like that, but just let people know that with a nurse coach comes all of your experience as a nurse, with all of the skills that you have, but also being with people in their most vulnerable times and some of the toughest times of their life. And I was like, oh wow. And then saying like, we are the ones that contact the doctors if the labs are off, or if we see that there's an issue with the order, and if the patient is really steadily crashing, like all of these things, we are the first ones to notify the doctor. And it's like people don't necessarily know everything that a nurse does. And so when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. And how much we say, I'm just a nurse, and we just think it's like a little band-aid station or something. Like we have such skills and such knowledge that we just don't let people know. So I don't know if that helps at all, Barb, but it was very helpful to me. So I wanted to share it. And thank you, Teresa, again for saying that the other day. And then I guess I'll just share. So I also live near Cincinnati, Ohio, and I met Sue through, I went to her for biofeedback. And then, we just clicked immediately because we're both nurses. And then, I told her that I wanted to be a nurse coach, and I was like, we just need to like collaborate together and start something down here, because we felt that there wasn't much around this area. And so we're like, we're just going to stick together and meet every month, and just the two of us will start, just the two of us, and then we'll grow. So it's been great knowing Sue, but she helped me tremendously last year. I was in liver failure, and I was going to biofeedback to help with all my signs and symptoms, and it was incredible what it was doing for me. And then I had my liver transplant in April, and I just actually, in the reflection of my last year, in October last year, I got first two calls, and then the livers didn't pan out. And so and I never had a single person from Ohio State reach out to me to see how I was doing mentally after that. And so I've been thinking like that was an awful time for me. And honestly, without Sue and the other lady, Linda, with biofeedback, like I would have been lost, because they were really the only two that I like talked to that could, and especially Sue, because she's a nurse and like knew what I was talking about medically. It was awful. So they definitely helped a lot. And so I just thought, and the whole time I kept thinking, I wonder what everybody else is going through. Like, I wonder if all these other patients are having these same thoughts. And so that's kind of what I've decided is that I want to work with liver patients who are on the transplant list and or have just had a transplant because the communication has not been great. And communication can either make or break a scenario. Like either you're told one thing and you're like, okay, this is how it's going to be, and then it could be the exact opposite, and then you get frustrated or you get scared because you're like, something's really wrong, when really you were just not told the truth. And so I think just communicating with people and telling them, like, you need to expect multiple calls for a liver because it's more than likely that that first or second call aren't going to be viable for you to receive. Like, they never told me that. So it's like, that's devastating to just be turned away. So I want to be that person for other people. So that's what I'm going to approach my surgeon about tomorrow. So see if he can kind of help me out.
Thank you for sharing that, everybody, so far. That's really so good to hear your ideas.
I'll go next. I live about 30 miles east of Dallas. And I went through the nurse coaching program and graduated in May, a little over a year ago, so May of 23, and took my boards in June. And I have just been trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. And I didn't want to invest a bunch of money and time into something that I really wasn't sure about. I've been coaching in various settings since I graduated. I still am working full time in a hospital settings, but in a situation where I don't hate my job. I'm not burned out. I love who I work with and the organization that I work for. And my boss is such a believer in the nurse coaching world that she's just letting me do my thing she's just added that as one of the hats that I wear and allows me space and time to do that. So I really have, and I can work remote, some from home. So I really have the best of both worlds. And I'm in the process. I want to completely transition into full-time private practice. And that's what my goal is to work towards that and to go part-time at the hospital. And the organization I work for, I've probably got about another 10 years before I retire. And I've got the hospital that I work for will let you go, if you're over 55, will let you go part-time with full-time benefits. And so I meet that criteria now. And that's really kind of what I'm just really working towards so that I can still do some work for them remotely, but also really focus on my coaching practice. So I coach different leaders in our healthcare organization around various things, topics, and I love that. And I thought that that's really what I wanted to focus on. But I have been drawn probably the last 6 months and I never in my wildest dreams ever thought that this would be something I would coach around. But my daughter, who is 32, her friends are they're all like cracking right now. They're young moms. They're trying to manage life, their finances. They're just not handling anything in life well. And she's just like, Mom, I think you need to help this person. And Mom, and so that's kind of where I'm, especially around finances. I mean, and it's mindless living and it's in this instant gratification world. And so that's where I've been really drawn to. So I think my niche is in a couple, I don't know. I'm the pendulum keeps swinging there. So that's another reason why I'm real excited about, being able to have some clarity with that. But it's I've loved it's kind of like when you go through clinicals in nursing school, you think you might really want an area until you do your rotation in there, and then you find out, I'm definitely not doing that. So I'm grateful that I've been able to do some different things with this before really kind of honing in. So that's where I'm at.
Thank you, Lori. Well, that sounds interesting. What a big change in idea, but I can really see there's a huge need. I know women, young mothers and young women around me that are showing those signs of stress and needing to pull their focus and all that. So very interesting. And so I'm so happy for you that you love where you're working now and you have such a supportive manager. And so it'll be exciting to see you grow and get your clarity and move forward when you come into the incubator.
Yeah, I love it, but I can definitely see, as we all have, the shift in healthcare. And no matter how much I love it, it is still Western traditional medicine, no matter how you look at it, no matter what kind of, cover you put on it. It's
Yeah, you can dress it
still
up,
not
but it's still the same.
exactly.
Wow, that's great.
I'll go ahead because I kind of segue into Lori. Lori, I was trying to remember whether we met through the Ramsey coaching site or the nurse coaching site, but we both are financial coaches as well as nurse coaches. And so the financial coaches sometimes I think is helping support in my area. And I am a full-time caregiver for my husband who was diagnosed a few years ago with Parkinson's. He has done some improving, so we're excited about that, but we still have things going on, and I want to support other people, other caregivers, not in, I would call it the traditional way where um, this is how you manage their medication and this is how you do that for the person you're caring for, but actually support the person who is doing the caregiving. I noticed how everybody will ask, well, how is he doing? But they don't ask, how are you doing? And I think that's pretty much throughout all of, whether it's Parkinson's or it's cancer or whatever whether it's a chronic illness or whatever it is, they're usually asking about the patient, not about the person taking care of the patient. So I feel like that I still have both of those pieces going, but love both. Love coaching, love the finances, and love the caregivers.
Thank you, Jan.
I love hearing what everybody's doing. It's so exciting, to think that, we're so varied and have such wonderful interests and we're healers. Nurses are healers. And we get to bring our own flavor to everything that we do. So Lori, when you start your program for the moms and the young ones who still haven't figured themselves out, let me know. I have a few people for you. I get people who are asking me too, like, what do we do? There's so much health anxiety in that age group. It's incredible. I went to the ER. My husband, the ER nurse, found out I was a nurse, and he was like, I'm the military base, so it's all that age group. And he said, we are flooded every day with them coming to the ER for minor, a scratched, a stubbed toe. I'm afraid this or that's happening. He said, it's incredible. And I said, because no, we haven't taught them, there's not good information for that. So amazing.
Well, and I think the trend I see in just the few that I've talked with is it's the pressure of the social media platform. It doesn't matter what platform they're on, but that pressure is incredible. And that's all they know.
Yes.
So it's so one thing that's interesting is that, when I do my initial, session with them and I do that like whole holistic piece of it, um, one of the common trends that I see is I just want a simple life.
Yes.
So it's interesting to see that, the old people might know what we're doing,
I think it's time. I've had two comments in the last couple of weeks. Maybe I should listen to my parents, or maybe I should listen to my grandma. And it came after a couple of comments that, when I was young, in my early 30s, taking care of older people, I worked ICU and skilled nursing and places like that. And they started telling me things that were actually quite helpful. And one lady sat there and she looked at me and she goes, I've had 8 kids. What do you want to know? And so I asked her, I don't know, 8 or 10 things I was dealing with, and she just gave me answer after answer after answer. And lo and behold, she was right. Do you know how much time that saved? That was a lot of, and I knew people had answers, but I didn't know, to me that was healing in itself just to hear that perspective. And as a nurse, I started listening a lot to the older people, and it has really helped me. So I think we're here. Maybe the generations are not so far apart anymore as we seek answers. Amazing.
So Teresa, thank you for that, because it helps connect a lot of dots of things we've talked about tonight. Would you like to share what your business is and what you do?
Oh boy. So I'm growing both personally and professionally. I'm about to be the COO of a new technology wearable device app that's connecting nurse coaches to the public. So we're creating a space for nurses to be coaches on the platform to help individuals in organizations and individuals who just want to have accurate information about their health to be able to connect in real time in real life. So it's not just an app with a wearable device, it's actually creating communities. As I see it, people will connect on the app about their health, but they'll create actual in-person communities where they live. So you'll be able, kind of like a community Facebook group, only you can get your own health data based on your own stress levels. It has a glucose monitor in it. It has, you can actually predict fertility for birth control, like if you want to get pregnant or you don't want to get pregnant. So there's some technology that's out now that is really beneficial to people, but it's like, how do you connect to it? And we are going to the virtual world, but the whole purpose of the app is to give you accurate information. You put it back in your pocket and you go live your life. You don't have to be attached to this thing the whole time. It's just as if a piece of information, you have the connection that you need, and then you move on. One of the CEO said, he's like, I want to be there for people until they're healthy enough to just go live their life and don't need anything. And I think that's a different vision than almost anything that I've seen. And part of what I want to do is raise the awareness in the nursing community about what nurses know and what we can do to help people heal. We don't get to tell people what we do. Like Taylor was saying, the public doesn't know how much we know. And there's not a lot of people who I can see that are making that connection. So one of my goals is to raise that awareness. There's a lot of people out here trying, but we have to come together. We have to say a unified voice and say, listen, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And be doing parts of that research, which the app can do. Thursday, we put in our application for a grant to actually help decrease the stress and anxiety of a community that has the highest infant mortality rate in the state of Texas. And Texas Wesleyan University is completely 100% on board. I've never seen a grant come together this fast. We literally put it together and are submitting it within 3 weeks because everyone on the team was like, yep, we're going to do it. And so we'll see. I'll let you know. They don't pick until April, but I think we put together a pretty good grant. If we can do it well, when we do it well, we'll have a blueprint to duplicate it throughout.
Are you in Texas, Teresa?
Yes, ma'am.
What area?
Colleen, I'm right in the middle.
Okay.
We can meet and have fun.
Yeah, well, and I'm involved with this at the state level with the maternal initiatives that are rolling out.
Oh my goodness, I need you. I need you. That would be amazing. And I mean, see, this is the reason we have meetings like this. I didn't know people do stuff like that. So if you know people, we need to talk. I meet with some people on Saturday, a gentleman named Michael David Baker. He's creating a movement in Austin called Camp, C-A-M-P, and it's an app that can give nursing services for free at the push of a button. And he's raised like $1.5 million for this already. And he's creating an event like, get-togethers, people get to know each other, and there'll be a big party festival at the end of the year. So and he's not a nurse. He just wants to help nurses. So, if you any part of what I'm doing, if you want to be involved, just let me know. I'm happy to let you come to the meetings and, meet anywhere we can on Zoom or whatever. But it will take all of us, and it'll take us all with all our different ideas.
Yes, and that is so important, and that's the spirit that we live into at the Liberated Nurse Business Development Community, is that we're not just here for ourselves, we're here for all nurse entrepreneurs. We want to see everyone succeed, be visible, be, serving the public, and we believe that that we all rise together, like the rising tide lifts all boats. So, gosh, we're getting down to our last few minutes here. Teresa and everybody, really, if you'd like to share your contact information with each other, you can just put it in the chat. We just believe also it's so valuable to have connections with other nurse entrepreneurs, and you just never know how those connections can serve you. So feel free to do that. And if you ever come to these first Tuesdays again, and I forget to say this, please know it's a standard, you have standard permission to exchange your contact information with each other. So we always want you to have as much value as you can get from all of this. So would anyone like to say anything, last comments? Maybe your takeaways from tonight, your next steps, or last questions?
Teresa, I would like to be added to all those meetings and everything. I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic, and I would love to bring that up to Ohio and help bring it up this way.
Yeah, we're happy to have a meeting with you and see how that can work. We want to be the support person. We want to be the connector. That's one of the problems that we have is we don't have an easy way to connect with each other. You create your list, you create, where's it at? How do you keep track of it, right? And so once the app is active, I'll have a central place for everything.
Okay.
So if I don't reach out to you, it's not because I forgot, or it's probably it's hard to keep up with everyone. So text me. Hey, did you remember me?
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt my feelings, right? I would rather you say, I'm thinking about this, and then remind me, because I'm just human.
Yes, absolutely.
And I want to be able
I'm
to,
gonna definitely write your number down for sure. I already have your email, but I'll write your number down as well.
yeah, write it down, send me a text with your name and I'll add you to my contacts, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else? All right. Well, we'll wind up for tonight, and you're all registered to attend these first Tuesday gatherings and coaching sessions. You should probably be receiving a monthly email from Google Calendar to remind you. If for some reason you stop receiving that and you want to receive it, just let me know. I'll get you back on the list. And so it's the first Tuesday of every month. And so happy holidays to all of you. And I look forward to seeing you again next month.
Thank
Bye,
you.
ladies.
Thank you, Sharon.
Next
Good
year.
luck, Taylor.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.